Have you ever seen something you just can't explain? A fleeting shape in the corner of your eye, a strange figure in the static of a security camera, or a silhouette against the moon that defies all logic. Our world is vast, with deep oceans, sprawling forests, and uncharted territories where unknown things might still lurk. For most of human history, encounters with these entities were just stories passed down through generations as folklore and legend. But we live in a different age, an age of cameras, billions of them, watching, recording, and sometimes capturing things that were never meant to be seen. Today, we journey into the heart of the unknown. We will dissect the pixels and analyze the frames of 5 of the most compelling, bizarre, and terrifying pieces of footage ever recorded. From ghostly apparitions walking through a suburban night to colossal beasts from the depths of the coldest seas. These are not just campfire tales. This is evidence. What you are about to see may challenge your understanding of the world. Prepare yourself as we count down the top 5 unidentified creatures caught on camera.
Number 5, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Our journey begins not in some remote, haunted forest, but in the quiet suburbs of Fresno, California. In 2007, a homeowner who has chosen to remain anonymous was awakened by his barking dogs. Reviewing his home security footage, he expected to find a stray animal or a potential intruder. What he found instead was something that would become an internet phenomenon. The grainy, black and white footage shows a pair of small, bipedal creatures walking across the lawn. They are incredibly strange. They appear to be nothing more than a pair of long, stilt-like legs supporting a tiny head with no discernible torso or arms. They move with a steady, almost robotic gait, one following the other before they disappear out of the frame. The creatures were estimated to be only about 3 feet tall. Skeptics were quick to analyze the footage. The most common theory was that it was a hoax, likely created using a puppet. Some have suggested it could be 2 people wearing white pants and walking hunched over in a specific way to create the illusion. However, recreating the smooth, consistent gait of the Nightcrawlers has proven to be incredibly difficult. The TV show Fact or Faked Paranormal Files investigated the case and, after attempting to replicate the video with various methods, ultimately labeled the footage as unexplained. The story doesn't end there. A few years later, similar footage emerged from Yosemite National Park, not far from Fresno. This new video, also from a security camera, showed 2 similar-looking figures. This time, they seem to be walking through a more wooded area. The creature in the foreground appears to navigate a fallen log with the same strange, leggy walk. So what are the Fresno Nightcrawlers? Theories range from the mundane to the truly extraordinary. Are they an elaborate, multi-year prank? Or are they something more? Some believe they are an undiscovered species of animal, perfectly adapted to a life we can't comprehend. Others venture into the paranormal, suggesting they could be spirits or even extraterrestrial beings. The native Yokut people of the Fresno area have legends of stick-like beings, which some have connected to these modern sightings. Whatever they are, the Fresno Nightcrawlers remain a captivating mystery, a pair of ghostly figures striding silently through the California night.
Number 4. Flying rods. For over 2 decades, starting in the mid-1990s, photographers and videographers around the world began capturing images of something truly bizarre: fast-moving, rod-shaped objects that seemed to fly through the air. These flying rods, or skyfish, appeared to have membranes or fins along their bodies, suggesting they were some form of undiscovered life. Footage of these entities came from all corners of the globe, from deep caves in Mexico to open skies in the United States. The man who popularized the phenomenon, José Escamilla, claimed they were a new form of life, possibly interdimensional or extraterrestrial, moving too fast for the naked eye to see. He argued that the only way to see them was to slow down video footage frame by frame. The rods appeared to be anywhere from a few inches to several feet long. Analysis of the videos seemed to show them undulating through the air, propelling themselves forward with their strange side wings. The sheer volume of footage was staggering, and for a time it seemed like humanity had discovered an entirely new, invisible ecosystem existing right alongside us. Were these biological creatures, alien drones? The theories were wild and plentiful. However, science eventually offered a more grounded yet equally fascinating explanation. In 2005, researchers in China, who had captured numerous videos of flying rods around their facility, set up a test. They placed large nets in the flight path of the supposed creatures. When they reviewed the footage, they saw the rods fly directly into the nets. But when they checked the nets themselves, they found no strange rod-like organisms. All they found were moths and other common insects. The conclusion was that flying rods are an optical illusion, a trick of the camera. The rod shape is created by the motion blur of an insect's flapping wings as it flies past the camera lens. A video camera records a series of still frames per second. If an insect flaps its wings several times as it moves across the frame, the resulting image, when played back, creates the illusion of a solid rod with undulating fins. While this explanation accounts for most, if not all, of the flying rod sightings, some believers still argue that certain footage captures creatures that are too large or move in ways that can't be explained by insects. They maintain that while many rods might be bugs, a few could be something else entirely. Real or illusion, the story of the flying rods is a perfect example of how technology can sometimes create new mysteries for us to solve.
Number 3. The Rake. Our next entry crawls out of the dark corners of the internet and into our nightmares. It is a creature born from online folklore, a story that became so terrifyingly real for some that it spawned alleged sightings and viral videos. This is the creature known as the Rake. The legend of the Rake began as a creepypasta, a horror story shared across the internet. The story compiled a series of fictional historical accounts dating back to the 1600s, all describing encounters with a horrific, pale humanoid creature. Its most consistent features were its hairless, grayish skin, its thin, contorted body, and its long, sharp claws, which gave it its name. According to the legend, it would appear in the dead of night, often at the foot of a person's bed, simply watching them with its black, soulless eyes before attacking with ferocious speed. What elevated the Rake from a simple story to a viral cryptid was the emergence of found footage. One of the most famous pieces of evidence is a video that purports to show the creature in a dark, wooded area. In the video, a group of people are investigating strange noises when their camera light falls upon a pale, crouched figure. The creature turns its head, revealing large, dark eyes, before standing up and letting out a terrifying shriek as it charges the camera. Another widely circulated clip, allegedly from a home security camera, shows a similar-looking creature crawling with unnatural speed across a suburban backyard. Its movements are jerky and unsettling, like a spider, but with a disturbingly human form. The vast majority of Rake footage is considered to be the work of talented digital artists and filmmakers, creating short, terrifying videos for entertainment. There is no credible scientific evidence to suggest such a creature exists. However, the power of the Rake lies in its ability to tap into a primal fear, the fear of a predator that looks almost human, but is twisted into something monstrous. The lines between fiction and reality have blurred. People have reported real-life encounters, claiming to have seen a creature matching the Rake's description in their homes or in remote areas. Are these reports simply the result of an overactive imagination fueled by a scary story? Or did the original author tap into a pre-existing legend, giving a name to a creature that people have been seeing for centuries? Whatever the truth, the Rake serves as a chilling reminder of how a story can take on a life of its own, crawling out of the digital world
and into our collective psyche. Number 2. Trunko. We now travel back in time to the coast of Margate, South Africa, on October 25, 1924. What was witnessed that day would become the stuff of cryptozoological legend, a bizarre battle between known predators and an utterly unknown entity. The creature would later be nicknamed Trunko. According to witnesses on the beach, a massive, snow-white, furry creature was locked in a ferocious 3-hour battle with 2 orcas, also known as killer whales. Witnesses described the strange animal as having a trunk-like appendage and a powerful tail, which it used to fight off the whales. One observer, Hugh Balance, described it as looking like a giant polar bear. Eventually, the strange creature washed ashore, apparently lifeless. For 10 days, the bizarre carcass lay on Margate Beach. It was described as being 47 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 5 feet high. Its most peculiar features were its dense white fur, which was several inches long, and a 5-foot-long trunk protruding from its body. Despite the incredible strangeness of the discovery, no scientist ever came to examine it. It was eventually reclaimed by the tide, and for decades, the story existed only in old newspaper clippings. The creature was given the name Trunko, and was largely considered a myth, as no photographic evidence was thought to exist. That all changed in 2010. Through the power of the internet, German cryptozoologist Markus Hemmler managed to track down 4 original long-lost photographs of the Trunko carcass. The photos, though old, were clear enough to show a massive, fibrous white object on the beach. With this new evidence, scientists could finally offer a plausible explanation. What the witnesses saw was likely a globster, a term for an unidentified organic mass that washes up on shorelines. The carcass of Trunko was almost certainly the decomposing remains of a large whale. As a whale decays in the ocean, its skin and blubber can separate from the skeleton and rot in a way that produces a tough, fibrous mass of collagen that can look like white fur. The trunk was likely the whale's decaying internal organs or a section of its tough connective tissue. The epic battle witnessed offshore was probably the orcas feeding on the already dead whale's carcass. So, was Trunko a mysterious sea monster? The scientific consensus says no, but it remains a spectacular example of how nature's processes can create something that looks truly monstrous and otherworldly, firing the imagination and creating a legend that has lasted for nearly a century.
Number 1. The Ningen. For our top spot, we venture to the most remote and inhospitable place on Earth, the icy waters of the Antarctic. In recent years, rumors have been circulating among Japanese sailors and researchers about a new, terrifyingly large form of life lurking in the Southern Ocean. They call it the Ningen, which translates to human in Japanese. The legend of the Ningen originated on the popular Japanese internet forum 2channel. The story goes that crew members on government-operated whale research ships began to having strange encounters in the 2000s. They would see what they initially thought were foreign submarines in the distance. However, upon approach, they realized these objects were not mechanical, but alive. Descriptions of the Ningen are consistent but chilling. It is said to be a massive, whale-like creature ranging from 60 to 90 feet in length. Its skin is smooth and completely white. Its most unsettling feature, and the reason for its name, is its vaguely humanoid shape. It is often described as having 2 powerful legs or fins and long arms. Some accounts even claim it has 5-fingered hands. Its face is said to be featureless, except for 2 enormous eyes and a slit-like mouth. Several pieces of alleged evidence have surfaced online. The most famous is a grainy video that appears to be taken from the deck of a ship. It shows a massive, pale form moving just beneath the surface of the dark, icy water. It's difficult to make out a clear shape, but its sheer size and ghostly white color are unnerving. Other proof includes supposed Google Maps satellite images showing a large, white, Ningen-like object in the South Atlantic. Skeptics argue that the Ningen is nothing more than a modern myth, an internet tall tale. The supposed photos and videos are likely hoaxes or misidentifications of known animals like beluga whales, albino whales, or even unusually shaped icebergs. The Google Maps image has been widely debunked as a simple visual anomaly. Yet the stories persist. The idea of a colossal, pale, humanoid creature gliding silently through the freezing abyss is a powerful one. It speaks to our fear of the deep, the knowledge that over 80% of our oceans remain unexplored. We have better maps of Mars than we do of our own seafloor. Could a creature as large and strange as the Ningen exist, hidden from science in the planet's most extreme environment? Until we explore every last inch of our oceans, the Ningen will remain out there, a ghost in the ice, a chilling question mark at the bottom of the world.
From the stilt-walking figures of Fresno to the humanoid giant of the Antarctic, these stories and images push the boundaries of our belief. Are they hoaxes, misidentifications, or are they fleeting glimpses into a world that runs parallel to our own, filled with creatures beyond our wildest imagination? The camera's eye is always open, and in the static, in the blur, and in the shadows, the unknown is waiting. What will it capture next? Thank you for joining us at the Frequency Station. If you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next transmission. Until next time, keep watching the shadows.